The Journal of Abraham Lincoln Sandberg Okelberry, compiled and edited by his daughter, Shirlene Okelberry Teal, and read by his grandson, Michael Teal. The Okelberry family, or Okelberg family as they were called in Sweden, did not come to America all at once. One daughter of Paul Martinson Okelberg came to America before the rest of the family. Martin Paul Okelberry was in the Swedish army and was released after his family came over. The Okelbergs were a musical family, enjoying the choirs aboard ship. Stories are told of Miss Okelberg, Christina Johns Nielsen, singing her way across the plains. Music has played an important part in her descendants' lives also. The Okelbergs arrived in New York the 1st of June, 1863, after which they traveled to Utah by wagon train. Martin Paul Okelberg, the father of Lincoln Okelberry, came over later after he was released from the Swedish army. My mother, Christina Jansen Sandberg, and her father, Jans Sandberg, were the only ones from her family to join the Mormon Church. Hans left his wife and family in Sweden except for Christina. Mother, Mother Christina Jansen Sandberg was in Copenhagen, Denmark, on her way to America on her 23rd birthday, the 27th of June, 1873. She came to Salt Lake in July 1874. She met and married Martin Paul Okelberg on the 12th of July, 1875, in the Endowment House in Salt Lake City, Utah. The Okelbergs changed their name to Okelberry, sometimes spelled Okelberry, after their arrival in Utah. The Martin Okelberg, the Martin Okelberry family set up housekeeping in Grantsville, Tooele County, Utah, where Lorenzo, Johnny, and Mommy were born. The family then moved to Island, Cassia County, Idaho, after Brigham Young issued a call to colonize Idaho. Island is close to and considered a part of Oakley, Idaho. The rest of the family, consisting of 7 more boys, were born at Island. I, Abraham Lincoln, being the youngest. My sister Mommy died of spinal meningitis soon after their arrival. She was 4 years old. I was born the 15th of March, 1897, in a log house on the 160-acre homestead claim at Island, Cassia County, Idaho. Sarah Bates was the midwife. My family were good members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and I was blessed the 23rd of April, 1897, by A. G. Smith. My father and mother were hard workers. We had to plant trees to homestead. My mother and the boys carried water in buckets by hand to water the trees while my father ran a mule train. Life was hard on the Idaho frontier, and the family survived by eating cottontail rabbits and wild geese. Father was industrious and built a fine brick home with barns and granaries. Our family became quite wealthy, pertaining to the things of the world. Water was a precious commodity to the pioneers, and canals were built to get water to the crops. Many fights erupted between landowners over water rights. My father had a lawsuit over water rights he had brought from a Mr. Tetro. The church leaders were upset with Dad for not bringing the problem to the stake authorities before he went to the law, and they excommunicated Martin Paul from the church. After winning the lawsuit, the church authorities came and said if he would confess his wrong, they would reinstate him. He asked them why they wanted him to confess since he was not in the wrong. Later they decided that they had made a mistake and reinstated him, but never rebaptized him. He performed all his priesthood duties and administered the sacrament as usual.